All right, gentlemen, we're here to cut the roster in half of Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's too big. We can spare 40 or so lives. If we cut too many or if we keep too many, we'll go back and do a rough estimation of the half that we want to keep here. Um, so we'll go through them, see what our opinions are of each character. You can bring up anything. Like I think something to consider as we're going through this, obviously, is what they mean to Smash Brothers in terms of how iconic they are in the gaming space and for the game itself, I think is important. And also, if you like the play style, you can mention that too. Why not? It's pretty fun. So um, we'll go ahead and start with Mario, Mr. Nintendo, if you will. Uh,
Yeah, I don't see why they'd keep him at this point.
true. He's so
Yeah,
he's so silly.
he's overstayed his welcome.
he's,
Yeah,
over,
yeah.
so he's overstayed his welcome. He would just
5 games is enough.
if we just remove him from the view, it just looks more natural. No. um, I mean,
Yeah,
we can do this. Like, we can maybe. Do we want to have like? Here's a fun thing. Like, let's do a. Let's. We could do this as like just to start out, just to get a rough idea of where we're as the group is feeling. We could do like a democracy, so like a 2-1, but then everybody gets
yeah.
one veto for what the roster is going to shape up to be. So this will be like it'll either be a bastardization of that or it'll actually be good. So, um,
I say we should get one veto per game of Origin.
what is Game of War? Oh, you mean like per? Oh, so per like 64 or melee or?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, I like that. That's a good idea. Well, let's get through. Yeah, so let's get through 64, and I'll decide if I want to veto anything or not. So Mario, I'm gonna vote is gonna he's gonna be safe personally.
yeah.
I think they
He's safe.
keep him, but
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
All right.
I think as a character, he's like designed great. He's like the Ryu of Smash. He's like
yeah.
simple and intuitive and balanced.
People who play the game, kids, they'll pick Mario first, and it'll make sense because he just plays really well. I think in another Smash Brothers game, I would like to see his moveset changed up a little bit. Like obviously
Yeah,
when you compare like some of the DLC standard B attacks to his Fireball, that's the funniest comparison because it's just such a simple concept for what it does. It just shoots a fireball that does like 7 damage compared to Sephiroth. If you hold B long enough, you'll just make your enemy explode. Like
yeah,
it's pretty insane, but yeah, no, okay. So we'll move him to safe
yeah.
Hmm.
for sure. Grant, do
Yeah,
you want to vote yay or nay on him real quick? I mean, it's Jared and I both voted for to keep him, but he's
you're right. He is like the Wii Fit trainer of Smash. So
Yeah,
I'll say he deserves to stay.
yeah,
okay. Nice. All right. Cool. All right, so we'll do Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, you could say almost is more iconic than Mario. I mean, he's not, but he's in the Mario movie. Seth Rogen and whatnot. The first
yep,
Mario game was called Donkey Kong. He's got probably the best 2D platformers on the market in terms of Tropical Freeze. So I think he's safe too. What do you guys think?
Mhm.
yeah.
Nope,
I think he's safe.
definitely safe.
Okay, all right. We're rolling through these guys. Good. This is the iconic set. Um, yeah. So Link. Obviously,
Obvious.
I think an obvious safe. He's a pillar of Nintendo. Zelda. He is the avatar character of Zelda. He,
Yeah,
in whatever iteration they choose to do. That's what was one of the fun things about new Smash games is each Smash game would have a different Link based off of what was newest. With the exception of Smash 4, kind of just making him look like Skyward Sword, but was still Twilight Princess because they wanted
yeah,
and Twilight Princess they had all three characters and they wanted to keep them consistent, but now they're all different and it's pretty cool. So Breath of the Wild Link's pretty good. He's pretty fun. We'll see what they do in the
yeah,
next one, but yeah, Link's probably a safe as well. We think that.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Okay. Samus, lesser known Nintendo franchise, but definitely one of their better ones in my opinion. I think female representation matters a lot as well, and she's just a badass. So I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
She should stay.
super safe. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Probably okay.
yeah.
Nintendo Land really popularized the Metroid franchise, so I suppose
It did for you specifically because when you think about it, more people probably played Metroid Dread than Nintendo Land. Well, no, that's not entirely accurate, but I'll get to. I'm actually gonna move the Echo Fighters over to like
where they're from.
when we get to Ultimate. So I'm just when I get to them, I'll move them. I'm gonna
Yeah,
kind of put them in their announcement. So this was actually after think Dark Samus was before K. Rool and after Belmonts or somewhere in there. So okay, Yoshi, Mario's ride in many games, has his own series. I think he's a good bet as well to be safe.
Yoshi's safe.
I like him. Yeah, I don't think he has like the best identity like as a character.
He's
Like
definitely they don't get a lot of Yoshi games out there. I think he's sort of almost a legacy thing because I still think the original Yoshi's Island, and I know Grant will back me up on this, is one of the best games ever. It's such a good game. The Yoshi
yeah,
games
It
aren't
is.
as good anymore,
like
but he's still like, and he's so like iconic. Like he's like,
yeah,
if you're playing Mario Kart, someone in the room is going to pick Yoshi. No one will be Mario.
right.
Also, as one of our friends famously mentioned, any bisexual picks Yoshi as their Nintendo Switch icon, and that's just a fact.
Yeah, I think like as a fighter, he doesn't have a ton of identity. Like the tongue, is like pretty much
The egg. Well, and
the
his shield being an egg is really unique. I like that. But
yeah.
I get what you mean. Like
He kind of
he's
just like
also had the
throws
same
up.
moveset for, 25 years or whatever it's been. So
Yeah,
like kind of all of them have more or less. But yeah, I get your viewpoint though. But we'll keep him in safe.
yeah,
Um, so okay, Kirby, uh, pretty dang iconic. Not as iconic as Mario or Zelda, but definitely one of the more like just as a not even as a game franchise, just a character. Like Kirby is just massively popular, and he takes all
yeah,
the
huge.
abilities. He's kind of the home of Smash because Sakurai went from Kirby onto Smash. I don't think you have Smash without Kirby, so
Yeah.
he's
Again,
probably more important than
Kirby
Mario.
Kirby's good.
Oh,
another character I think that is sort of kind of weaker, just in terms of like how interesting they are and how interesting they could be. But
yeah, yeah. Moveset wise, like could use some revamp. I think the problem is he's also like pretty simple like Mario. I think they have to keep him
yeah,
simple, but I think they could make it more interesting at the same time. He's got all the
yeah,
jumps and stuff, so they could change it up. We'll see. I mean, I would love to see them go back to a lot of these characters and revisit how they play just to shake it up, and because Ultimate is the ultimate iteration of the original Smash, just kind of reinvent and keep characters, but give them a new breath. So
yep,
okay, Fox. I think Fox might be the first Smash 64 character sort of in danger here because only
yeah,
because like Star Fox as a franchise has not had the best history, and Nintendo doesn't seem to really care anymore. Like we haven't had a new Star Fox since Zero, and that didn't do well. They don't really know what to do with it anymore. I've seen a lot of people do the same thing, try to cut out Star Fox entirely. I don't know that I
yeah,
would go that far. I still think he's like a really cool legacy IP. I don't think he would compare to something like Captain Falcon. Like I would keep Falcon over Fox, but like Fox in terms of if you look at just Melee, like he's the best character in that game. He has a legacy. Like
right.
Star Fox pretty much lives through Smash Brothers. I think is
Yeah, exactly. I think
yeah,
like what's weird about it is like I don't really care to have Fox or Falcon or Falco in the game, but like they kind of like are Smash, like
yeah. I like
at least in terms of like
they're
yeah,
the
like the
face of those
FGC
games.
side,
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
are Smash.
Even though he's not like Fox isn't nearly talked about in Ultimate as much necessarily, but just the fact that
Right.
I'll go back to Melee and or a tournament or whatever, and there will still be people. I mean, people are playing Fox guaranteed because he is canonically the best, and it just worked out that way. Maybe for the best that Fox had the legacy of Melee, but not necessarily his franchise. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah, it's weird.
but yeah, I think, and plus he's like one of the few gunners so far. I mean, we have Samus, and Fox isn't really a gunner, I guess. He just has a standard B. Otherwise, he's pretty physical, but he's classified as a gunner, I think. But I think
Right.
give him more projectiles if they're going to reinvent him.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
I don't know. I personally I could say cut, but like I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
I'm
I
voting
think
safe, but
I'd say safe for now.
yeah, for now, well, I think just by the skin of the legacy, in terms of
Yeah.
today's relevance, zero. Nobody,
Yeah.
you go out on the street, nobody's talking about Star Fox.
He's
Right.
a Smash Bros. Original character.
He pretty much is. I
Yeah.
mean, we have a handful of those, but yeah, that's pretty much what. I almost want to say, even with like F-Zero 99 releasing last year, I feel like Captain Falcon is just edged up Star Fox as a whole now, which is crazy because there are three Star Fox characters and just Falcon. But Falcon is like gotten at least he's gotten a new game and it had eyes on it and it did pretty well for being a free game. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anyways, we'll move on to Are we all in agreement with Fox so far?
Yeah.
Grant, did you say?
Fox can stay. He's a Smash Bros. Original.
Okay, yeah, that's what I got from the word those words you used. Okay, all right, Pikachu. You're not going to get away cutting Pokemon that easily. I mean, this Pokemon.
Yeah, no way.
So literally,
Yeah,
the most iconic icon of media.
yeah, totally safe.
So, yeah, I
Must
don't.
stay.
Yeah, I don't know that we have to even go on. So what's cool, what I like at least, is with the exception of Fox being on the line here, we did keep the original 8 when you first boot up Smash
Yeah,
64. So now, obviously, the
League
unlockable fighters. Yeah. So okay, Luigi. I don't know that you really have Mario without Luigi very easily. I don't know that he's like the
yeah.
most essential, but I don't think you cut him that easily.
He's super popular.
Yeah, I love him. I mean,
He,
people like him more than Mario.
yeah,
Have you ever heard of the Year of Mario? No, you
No.
haven't.
See, I love that you even know about that. That was literally 11 years ago, and a financial
yeah,
failure for Nintendo, but it's still a meme. It's so funny. Okay, this one's fun. So Ness, Ness was pretty lucky to even get into Smash 64 and actually kind of reveal to people what Earthbound even was, because it was this horribly marketed JRPG from the Super Nintendo, with an American twist. Like it was supposed to be relatable for the Western audience, but um, I don't need to get into the nitty gritty of it. In terms of like a standing legacy, it's super niche but super loud at the same time. If you guys know what I mean, I don't know what to, like. I probably before playing the games, I would have said he could easily be cut, but after playing them, like those games are so special to me that and there's especially a lot of people that it would pretty much break my heart if he didn't come back. Like just to have him there, just to have the one Western really strong icon of this series even existing.
yeah.
That said, you guys haven't played Earthbound, so I don't know what your opinions are of them really.
Just as a Smash character, I think he's pretty interesting.
I would agree. I think he's really fun. Well, in Melee he's pretty clunky, but I really like him in Ultimate, and actually I like him in 64 as well. I think
Yeah,
he's a fun playstyle every now and then. He is somebody I will go to, in a long rotation. Maybe not right away, but I do go to him pretty like more than I used to actually. Like he'd probably be
yeah.
like 20th place, but he's probably like 15th now in terms of like a rotation. So he's
Yeah,
moved up.
I'd say he's safe.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
cool. All right, cool. Unanimous. Let's keep him. Okay. Um, Captain Falcon, obviously, we got into that a little earlier. He had a new release this year, which is huge for F-Zero. He's pretty much, I think, Mr. Smash Brothers outside of Fox being iconic for Melee. I think Captain Falcon has the legacy of being in every Smash game. He's got the Falcon Punch. They literally adapted that into an anime. I think that was from Smash. I don't think it's in any F-Zero game because it's a freaking racing game.
Yeah,
His look is so good. His voice lines are iconic. He's fun to play. He's like a top 5 for me.
yeah.
Just looking at his helmet, I almost get goosebumps, you know.
He's classic.
Yeah.
Like I don't really like. I don't care about Captain Falcon. Like as a character.
As a character, like no, but just as like being like a like
Being in
having a
Smash, like,
controller in my hand and playing the game, he feels amazing.
yeah,
Like he's just like I said, he's kind of just Mr. Smash Brothers.
yeah,
So, like if I want to play a character and feel good about playing the game that this is, I'll just pick up who should be on the box, Captain Falcon. So, um,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, that pretty much goes down to what he is. What's funny is I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys obviously were in the Smash 4 like hype cycle 10 years ago or whatever, but I was really into it, like in the thick of it. I was listening to like weekly discussions of the pick of the days that Sakurai would put out, like what speculation and everything. And we
yeah,
a lot like they went so far. It was up until like Robin's trailer that they didn't release that Captain Falcon was even going to come out or not. So everybody, like me included, was kind of like, I don't know if they're even gonna like. We just genuinely didn't know if he was safe, like if he was gonna
yeah,
make it back, like because cuts were still made. We didn't get Lucas or Roy right away. We didn't even think about Roy. Like Lucas didn't get in right away, and Wolf was cut entirely. Like we didn't know like who was gonna be in at the time. Um, we were genuinely afraid that Captain Falcon would be cut, but he got in and he had the really cool CGI trailer with the Fire Emblem characters, and it was a really special moment actually. It's really cool.
yeah. He's
So.
definitely safe.
Okay. Yeah, I think I talked about him a little too long. All right. Okay, Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff, last Smash 64 character. I think if you're going to cut any character from this game, it should be Jigglypuff, but at the same time, she's the first joke character, and I kind of don't want to cut anybody from the first game, but I don't know. Depends.
I I would say Jigglypuff if we've got to cut like half the roster ought to go. There's really no reason to have added that character. And like in terms of like a fighting franchise, one of truly the jankest move sets in the world.
Yeah, I would say truly iconic.
Funny, but
Here, go ahead. We got Grant. Finish up.
just like funny, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it really feels like Smash Bros. I don't feel like it really adds to the effect of the game. It's just kind of like Jigglypuff has always just kind of been like there, and if it were gone, I feel like maybe some of the super intense melee players may notice, but I don't think a lot of people would pay too much regard.
I feel, I don't know. I think Jigglypuff. I feel like I would care if Jigglypuff was missing more than like Yoshi, personally.
Yeah.
I think Jigglypuff is like probably the funniest character they've ever put in the game. Like,
a good original joke. I get what you mean. Like,
and just so iconic. I mean, especially like Melee, you know. But,
yeah, Melee. I mean, Hungry Box professional Melee player, Smash player in general, obviously mains Puff.
yeah.
In the deep competitive scene for that reason, she's iconic. The fact that you can shield break and immediately die to like start a match, like people would do that with like two Jigglypuffs just firing in the air is really iconic. The rest move is also like really iconic and the highest punish. I think in terms of like, I agree with both of you because Grant said like any casual person looking at this roster, if Jigglypuff wasn't there, they wouldn't even know. Like that's
Yeah.
true to any common man, but like to the Smash fans, Jigglypuff kind of does have that legacy of being around the longest.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so it could go both ways. I mean, I think Jigglypuff and Kirby obviously very aesthetically similar. I feel like that's why, like with the jumps and stuff, I almost wonder like how she was even put in was just like an extra kind of like, I mean, like because every Smash game has like a joke character or like a character that's not to be taken that seriously. It's got to be Jigglypuff for the first game. So
Yeah.
it's like, and obviously Pokemon was really popular, so they have like the double entendre of that. But like, yeah, I'm so conflicted honestly. So
I could say I'd say we could cut like, but
I think that Jigglypuff is only popular because certain members of the fan base like Hungrybox latched onto it. Like
sure.
if people didn't get behind Jigglypuff in the way that they did, like Jigglypuff would be nothing. Probably would have already been cut.
yeah.
But like people,
Yeah,
the
maybe.
the fans popularized Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff did nothing to deserve that.
What is Jigglypuff before Smash Brothers was the funny anime character with the microphone and marker, but outside of that, like,
Yeah.
I get what you mean. So, yeah, Jared, Grant's on cut. Jared, if you want to cast your vote, I can break the tie. I think I know where I'm leaning, but
Yeah, I'd probably say cut. Like,
okay, that's what I was gonna say too. After the argument, it's just like in terms of if we have to make more cuts and Smash
yeah, I would say
64
safe.
having somebody.
Yeah, I'd say safe, but I'm not willing to veto. So
Oh, that's true. No one vetoed. We were all in agreement on this.
yeah,
So actually, you can do a free veto if we want to do the one per game.
nah.
Okay.
We do have to cut half.
We're
of it.
gonna at the end, all of the vetoes will be null and void when we have to get like an even amount. So we'll
Yeah.
start the cutoff with Jigglypuff. That sounds good to me. Okay, that's 64. We're almost all in. Actually, we're pretty much all in agreement. So we'll do
Yep.
Melee with Peach. I'm gonna move Daisy to next to Ridley because she was revealed actually before Ridley, I think. Yeah, so we'll do Peach. Again, with the female representation, probably the most popular princess of Nintendo. I mean, next to Zelda, obviously, but Peach is pretty popular. Fun
Yeah.
enough playstyle. I think she's definitely iconic.
Yeah, I don't think female characters need to be cut that severely.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll get to some ones that are going to be. The thing with
Sure.
like earlier in the franchise is they add more of the characters that actually make sense. So
Yeah.
we're gonna. I mean, we'll get into some here, but like it's really going to be I think 4 and Ultimate that are going to be the more interesting ones in terms of what we think as a group. So we'll Grant, you got anything for Peach or?
I'd say cut, but just because I don't feel like anybody's ever like cared extensively about Peach in any of the games. Like, sure, she's always been there, and you gotta have, with the severely lack. But Peach in particular, like, who actually says their favorite princess is Peach?
True.
In terms of like a Daisy or like a Mario princess, or in general?
No, just in general, like, who thinks princess and is like, my favorite personally is Peach. Peach is an interesting, compelling character.
Right.
Well, Mario goes with the territory of that not being anybody that interesting, but
True.
I would,
There's no Luigi. That's all you get, really.
yeah, Luigi has a bit of personality, but
I would say that like in just Mario Galaxy alone, Rosalina manages to be a far more interesting character than Peach ever has been.
True.
I could see that angle. Yeah, I mean, I definitely like that game, so I get it.
I think Peach's design is really good.
Yeah, I in terms of again, this is kind of just coming with the territory being Mario. I think Peach is safe too.
Yeah, I think she's
I get where you're coming from, but like in the grand scheme of things, they're gonna keep her.
Like I don't see a world where Peach isn't in a Smash game.
Yeah. She was really good in Melee, actually. Like competitively, she's like a top 5, which is interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
she's
another
really
thing.
good in Ultimate too.
Yeah, she's not one of my go-tos, but I don't mind playing as her. Like if it's been a long session, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll give Peach a shot, and I do some fun things. She has some moves that feel good. I like her
Yeah.
aerials a lot, so
Yeah.
Her-
Float is also just really cool.
Yeah, that's kind of all she's got going for her, though, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with keeping her just because, yeah, she's from like the most well-known franchise, maybe next to Pokemon. But like that's the only thing that's putting me on the fence is the fact that she is the princess.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, we'll see what we get, but yeah, well, I guess Grant, you can still vote cut, and we'll do 2-1.
Yeah, I vote.
So,
I do vote. I do vote cut.
all right, cool. So we're getting more interesting this way then. Okay, so we'll do Bowser again. This might be some repeat, but like this is just main bad guy of Mario.
Yeah. He's
Or go ahead.
not going anywhere. Like I mean, like it's not like I care that much about Bowser, but like
Yeah,
he's not going anywhere. He's a heavy. There's not a ton of heavies.
Yeah, I like heavies, so I will go back to Bowser and still feel like this is fun. Like I would go to Donkey Kong first, but I like Bowser. I think I'm personally, I know some people actually think the opposite, but I think they really made him feel a lot better in Smash 4 and Ultimate than they did before that. So like the Melee and Brawl, he's kind of just he's more so an animal that just skids across the ground. He doesn't. I feel like he had less personality than he did ever in the newer games. So I think they've done a good job with him now. I like how he runs and he hits hard. He's fun. I say keep as well.
Yeah, definitely keep.
All right, sweet. Okay, Ice Climbers. The
Moving into Grant's veto territory.
yeah. Because this is the fun retro character they brought back. And when you think about when this came out in 2001, right, Melee. The Ice Climber is like a NES game where you just play as these two little kids climbing mountains. Fun little NES throwback character that they kind of bring into 3D and modernize in a fun way. At that time, it was probably only like 15 years old. Wasn't even terribly like an old. It was like a fun throwback still, but it's nothing we had heard of. And of course, now it's faded into obscurity with being cut from Smash 4 and then brought back just for Ultimate. There's never been another Ice Climber game. There never will be another Ice Climber game. It's just NES, black box NES, like old Nintendo archive thing. So Standing Legacy is null and void. They have the unique gimmick of being the double character, and that's kind of the first to do that, and that's pretty fun. Like in terms of the game, I think they're unique, but in terms of a Standing Legacy, I think there's not much. So me personally, I'm leaning towards cut.
Yeah, I would say cut because any character that at one point was cut from the game and people just totally stopped talking about it. Like Ice Climbers wasn't in Smash 4, obviously, and like after that cut happened, people almost immediately dropped it and were like, "Yep, I see no reason why that shouldn't have happened." Like
Yeah.
I did not hear ongoing complaints. If I heard ongoing complaints, then I think we would have our answer. But people clearly don't have an issue with it being gone.
Very interesting. I am actually leaning towards safe on this one. I think Ice Climbers have so much potential, just to, like from a game design perspective. Like they're such an
Oh, sure.
interesting like fighter. Like having those like disjointed like that duo character archetype that like doesn't exist anywhere else except for like Rosalina and Luma.
Yeah,
But like
that's fair.
even
They
that,
are
it's
super unique, and they're their own franchise.
like the desyncing is like so cool, and like I think maybe I'm just like kind of a sucker for like having more depth in Smash because I feel like it's just constantly been kind of splashing in the kiddie pool for the last 25 years.
I get what you mean with like the deepness of it and what it could appeal to.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like Ice Climbers like really just like effortlessly kind of bridges that gap a little. But
yeah, I would say I would probably agree with you, but I also like Grant's point of the fact that they were cut for hardware limitations, and there were some upset, but like it was more surprising that they were even thought to be brought back. Like I don't even know that they were really that missed either. Like
yeah,
it's just the fact that they like I get what you mean from a Smash gameplay perspective, but from the standpoint of outside of that, looking in, they have
yeah,
no real legacy, unfortunately, in that. And if we're going to be cutting half of them, I think that they're inevitable, personally.
yeah,
But the dichotomy of again, if they reinvent the game, like do stuff like that. I get what you're
yeah,
saying. So,
true.
so we'll put them in cut for now.
Yeah,
Um, okay, so Sheik. So we are gonna do Sheik and Zelda like separate characters, like they are in this game in particular. Obviously, they were conjoined in the original Melee debut and in Brawl, and then they were split in four, weren't they? Yeah. So then they were split in this game too. So. Um,
yeah,
Sheik is interesting because one, and for me as a with Zelda, I hate to cut or like obviously I think Zelda will need to be trimmed down a bit. I think, but I don't know. They haven't had any additions either, so it's like I want to keep who we have. I think Sheik's really unique, really fast, iconic, and plus like Sheik benefits from being in one of the most iconic games of all time, being Ocarina of Time, even if it was just one Zelda game.
yeah.
I mean, there are ideas thrown around in Nintendo, well, studios pitching to Nintendo a Sheik game, like the Sheikah are very interesting. I don't know, like Sheik is an interesting character. I don't know. I could see both ways, I think, on this one. So I'll
Yeah.
hear what you guys say, but
I love almost everything about Sheik. Like I think Smash doesn't have like it has like basically no pixie characters except for like Mithra. There's like there's like so few of those like super fast, low damage,
not
like
super
really
many, yeah. Like
like
Greninja
really
maybe, but
right, like Sonic, but Sonic doesn't like have like the frame data or like the
no, he's got
it's not
some.
super like
And he's got like some bigger hits. Sheik doesn't have any that big hits.
right,
Like Sheik doesn't kill at low percents.
right. Like yeah, Sheik is like a pixie, and there's like
It's all
so
about
few of
racking
those.
damage, yeah.
Yeah, and like it is weird, because it's like if they move to Tears of the Kingdom for the next game, I don't know where Sheik is going to fit. But also, I don't know where Zelda's going to fit. It's like, what is Zelda's moveset going to be if it's Tears of the Kingdom Zelda? Like,
Oh
she
yeah.
doesn't,
If
she
they don't
doesn't
keep
do
it the
anything.
same, yeah. I mean that's the
Like,
thing. If they cut all the roster, they can just reinvent the characters that we do have. So you never know.
yeah,
Um. So what do you say? Cut or keep? You're leaning towards keep, I think. The way that.
yeah. I'm leaning towards safe, but it's like it's weird for me because I feel like if they did do something, it'd be cool if they like took like a more I don't know like nostalgic angle for the next game and like made all the Zelda characters like their Ocarina of Time versions and like
I would like that, just because I like that game. But
Made Zelda and Sheik like the same character again or something. It's weird because it's like I don't think Sheik fits
like
if
by himself, yeah.
if they do Tears of the Kingdom. Like
Definitely not, yeah. Unless they had a new incarnation, but they never will. Who knows?
yeah, and I think like I don't know, it Sheik doesn't fit, but I want Sheik in anyway, I think is where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, you're right with like the legacy is different than Ice Climbers, right? It was one game 20 something years
Yeah,
ago, but it's a game that people still talk about. It's been remade. It's Zelda.
yeah.
And does have a place in Smash in history too. So it's like, I mean, so does Ice, even Ice Climbers does too. But Sheik is like one of the more competitive characters in Melee as well. So it's like
Yeah.
there's a
And
reason that they keep bringing her back.
we're moving into a lot of really easy cuts too.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Yeah. So yeah, great. If you have anything to add, we'll see.
I would have said cut, but then Jared brought up the point of not having many pixie characters, which he's dead on about. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, we have little to no lightweight, light hitting characters that are just all built around speed. And I have a feeling that some of the other ones that we do have will get cut. So we can't cut all of them. Sheik's the safest one.
I think that's fair. I think it has the highest legacy of any of them too. So we'll keep him or her in there. Um, I think by the process of continuing that to Zelda, I think Zelda has a lot of the same arguments as Peach. She has different incarnations every time. It's the Legend of Zelda. I think you keep Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda's safe.
Okay.
I just hope that they make her more interesting and completely overhaul.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked her Link Between Worlds design, but it is the melee, move set with the Spirit Trap down B.
Change literally every move, and I'd be fine with her staying.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, honestly, if the next Smash Brothers game comes out and says, okay, here's our starting roster, it's small, but every move is different, but it's like the same general concept and maybe a little bit deeper. Like, yeah, I'm there. Like, well, I'm there regardless, even if it sucks. But like, it's gonna be good. So,
Dr. Mario's out, obviously.
Yeah, I think what one quality he has this. He represents puzzle games. No other character really represents a puzzle game like he does.
True.
Granted, he is just Mario in a doctor's outfit. He could just be an alternate skin, even if that were to change the moveset slightly. I mean, he does have different moves. Some people can prefer him to regular Mario, but in terms of making cuts, I think it's inevitable, yeah. He was cut already as well.
Yeah, he's out. For sure.
I would say he's a must-have. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, cut him.
All right, we're in agreement. Okay, so cut. Pichu, I think, is similar, also cut.
Yeah, totally.
Damages itself, which is funny, but just not as good as Pikachu. I mean, in different ways. I mean, he can be fun, but
yeah,
I think he's probably also like, why is he here? He was kind of a joke character in Melee, not as much as this guy.
Jigglypuff, yeah, kind of a cool glass cannon character, but
okay,
yeah, pretty redundant.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah. Okay, here's another interesting one. So I was shitting on Star Fox earlier. We kept Fox.
Yeah.
Here's Falco. He's number 2/3 in Melee, but he's and he's like pretty iconic in the games. I mean, he's kind of like your wingman, not like a traditional wingman, but he's like the guy always know. He's the cocky bird guy. He's flying around. It made sense to bring him in easy beforehand, more than Slippy or Peppy. But now that I say Slippy out loud, I would rather have had Slippy in the game than Falco, I think. Just because it would have been different and interesting. Falco's not a bad character by any stretch, but I'm really conflicted. Like, I hate to do, like, I kind of think if you cut any Star Fox rep, he's got to be first. Like, I'd rather have Wolf even.
Yeah, the Star Fox characters are all, I mean, they're all shit because they are all just the same. Like, I mean, Wolf is pretty different, but
they're like copies of each other as they go down, and then Wolf and Fox are pretty different, but Falco's sort of in the middle, I guess. Like by that, I mean, they're all different, but they're all. I get what you're saying. Yeah, they're all similar.
Yeah, but it's weird because I like Falco more than Fox, but he's a clone. And,
he's a clone. Yeah, I mean, Melee is half clones. That's how the development worked. Is they beefed the roster up by making clones really fast.
Yeah.
So
I don't see how he could really be anything else.
Okay.
So I'm saying cut.
All right, Grant, what do you think?
He is Derek Commissaire, but that it's not really enough to keep him in the game, I guess. So I would say cut.
Yeah, maybe not. Okay, I I want to have all three for some reason, just because they've all been around for a long time. Obviously, I've already outnumbered, so I'm just voting safe out of pity. But I think in terms of what cuts we have to make, he should be up here,
Yeah.
which is tragic, but it's how it should be. Okay, and I'm gonna move
Who's
Luciano
here?
back.
Me.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
We are currently debating which characters should theoretically or theoretically not get cut if they were to create a new Smash Bros. Game. Now, this is assuming that we have roughly half of the roster than we do currently in Smash Ultimate. So we have to make a lot of cuts. If you're down to join in on that conversation, we're still pretty early on.
Yeah.
However, if
I mean, the only thing I can say is unless there are some serious changes, I'm pretty sure Steve is not coming back. That's like the main one
Well,
I can think of.
we'll find out. We're in Melee still. If you're watching my stream here, I'm doing like a recording and just going through all of the characters like one by one. So
Okay, yeah, I see. You're going like for top to bottom. Okay,
yeah, so
cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch, listen, and contribute. I'm just going through. They updated. There are more weekly quests in Fortnite, so I'm just doing those right now. So
all right,
look
I'll
at you.
join you.
All right, cool.
I'll join you in the meantime, Tristan.
okay.
We just can't. Even though it'll be disadvantageous towards us, we can't talk about Fortnite. We gotta stay on
That's fine.
topic.
No, that's fine. I'm happy with that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's already come up in the recording, so let it be known that Fortnite will never touch Smash because Nintendo has never touched Fortnite and never will.
Dude,
I don't think
Jonesy,
they don't need it. They just don't.
Tristan, Grant and
Jones-
I have a question for you, Tristan.
Oh yeah.
Or I guess it's not a question; it's an offer. If you do a sick bike stunt down a flight of stairs, we will convert to Mormonism.
Is it that TikTok account that and,
Yeah.
yeah, they pretend to be more? I love that account, dude. That shit's so funny.
Yeah.
I love that. It's such a good account. I love it.
Nice. Okay, well, let's. I'm gonna steer us back. We'll move on to Marth, who is John Fire Emblem that they added in Melee. Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
Because it was Japanese exclusive at the time. They put him in. I think he's got the legacy. I don't know if it was the first Fire Emblem game they ever made that he was in, but it's one of the earliest ones for sure. And I think he's got the legacy of and recognizability at this point, being in every other game. He was first.
Yeah.
I mean, Roy was there, but you unlocked Marth first, so.
Yeah. If one Fire Emblem character is making it, it's Marth.
I liked him better. I liked his look better in Melee, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. He had the cleaner hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got to be safe.
Yeah, I'll put him there too. I remember my neighbor's cousin just made up a lie one day and was like, "Yeah, there's a Zelda movie from like the '80s, and Martha's the princess in that movie." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And Roy was in there too. I don't know. He was like, I was probably 8 and he was probably 9 or 10, so you never knew.
Yeah.
I mean, the weird things you heard. It was like how Cam Shaver from elementary school told me Sonic was in Melee. I was like, nah, dude, or Toad maybe, one of the two.
Yeah.
For some reason
Alright,
on the playground one day he was talking about it.
If this video blows up and we've just casually dropped Cam Schaefer,
Well,
that'd be...
here's the thing, bro. I was going to move on, and now you've reiterated it. And also, there's probably more than one Cam Schaefer, damn it.
Well, Young Link is out.
Young
Okay,
Link
yeah.
is gonzo.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, I hate to do it. I like having a more traditional Link in comparison to having the Breath of the Wild Link. I like playing as him. He's probably this iteration also, it's more so Ocarina of Time, but obviously it's also Majora's Mask, and that's my favorite game, and I like having that represented, but I would rather keep, spoiler, I would rather keep Toon Link over Young Link, yeah, so we'll throw him up and cut. That's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it?
Also,
So-
spoiler, but I would also rather keep Toon Link. So I vote cut.
Yeah, he's up and cut. But we got Ganon
Ganondorf.
now, and he's like the Bowser of the Zelda. You know, I want him to be overhauled more than anybody. I think everybody does.
Yeah.
he was cheaped into the game by being a Falcon clone, and then they wanted to keep him sort of like that through every game because that's how people knew him. Sakurai's gone
Yeah.
on record saying that, but yeah,
I cannot wait for Tears of the Kingdom Ganon to be in a Smash game.
yeah,
That would be-
do that. Actually, let him use a sword, or actually all the other weapons that they have in the game that he uses. Yeah, dude, that's just for the potential. I think, an immediate save unless Grant wants to say otherwise.
No, I think I really hope that they go for the Tears of the Kingdom Ganon. I think that's probably the most interesting incarnation of Ganon they've come up with, despite being one of the easiest boss battles. I just think from a character design standpoint, absolutely fantastic, and you've got your skins pretty much laid out for you.
Yeah. I think like he'd be a really great replacement for like the Byleth character type. Like
Yeah,
Yes.
just like the different ranges and different
Yeah.
directions and stuff. I think honestly, funnily enough, so like Tears of the Kingdom Ganon design wise peak, not the best Ganon we've seen. I would argue Wind Waker Ganon is probably better in terms of like a villain archetype, maybe even Twilight Princess to be honest, just because Tears of the Kingdom's narrative like was
Yeah.
good and was an improvement, but like wasn't stand out like those two games to me personally. But
Yeah.
I and it's interesting because when we see another Smash game, will Tears of the Kingdom still be the biggest Zelda game of the time? Or are we going to get another Zelda game before we get another Smash game? Or if we do get Smash, are they even going to pull from Tears of the Kingdom? We don't know.
I think we're just gonna see a new Zelda remaster or remake before the next Smash.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how ambitious they get with their next Zelda game, but that's not. It's just like the future of Smash. We just don't know. It's inevitable though because it is reaching like 35 million units. It is a super successful game. It is
Yeah.
the biggest crossover. Like it's got to keep going. It's just like how do they keep it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sakurai, he's truly the Hayao Miyazaki of the video game world.
Yeah. This
is my last one.
Yeah,
For real,
yeah.
this is the last one, guys. Don't
Well,
bring me
yeah,
back.
and even recently, like as of like maybe even it was today or yesterday, he said he's putting his YouTube channel on hold because he's making games even still, and he's gonna move more into the development of that. That could be just ramping up the Switch 2 with the next Smash game. This
Yeah.
like within the next, it could even be the next year. To be honest, it could happen. It's not impossible.
Yeah.
So or 2 years. It's super interesting. But yeah, he's announced he is pulling away from that, and he will be doing something. Now, as much as I want it to be Kid Icarus and not Smash, I mean, I want him to do both, but I will easily take Smash, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, we'll move on. Ganon's good. Mewtwo is sort of a villain, sort of not represented for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Obviously was cut in favor of Lucario and Brawl, but then brought back in every iteration. And I think he's more iconic than Lucario or really any other Pokemon they've introduced.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get the Pokemon trainer, but like Mewtwo, I think is iconic.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd keep him though, just because people know two Pokemon by default, Pikachu and Charizard. Everybody knows those two. And even though you'd expect Mewtwo to like hold that level of iconic weight to it, he kind of doesn't when you really think about it. And then like in general, one of the least interesting move sets for debatably one of the most interesting characters. Like they took a character as interesting and complex as the legendary Pokemon Mewtwo and gave it an absolute horse piss move set
True.
that just made it like worth nobody's time. There's never been a huge backing behind Mewtwo in the game because gameplay, whether you enjoy playing as him or not, like nobody's going to watch a Mewtwo player. Like it's just not fun. It's not interesting to be the player or to watch the player. So just kind of unless they completely rework Mewtwo, I say cut.
Yeah, if they like, I think they should take a new approach to like Pokemon in the game in general, and like make it a little bit more like unique. I think if they did that, Mewtwo would be the most interesting Pokemon in Smash, like by far.
I also
Like,
think that it's important to remember that, like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna at least have one of the new ones whenever this game
yeah,
comes out. So
sure.
how many of these are they gonna keep, and how many new ones are gonna come in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely an unknown. I think you're right, where a new Pokemon is sort of inevitable. They've done it in every game, like
yeah,
literally every time. Like it's inevitable. I think for the sake of the speculation, that's since it's so unknown, all we can do is say like what are they going to keep and
yeah.
recut, right? So like
I
I think like skipping ahead a little bit, I think in terms of the other Pokemon, he's probably I think have more of an argument though. Maybe not. We'll
Yeah,
get the
true.
Pokemon Trainer more later, but like any other Pokemon beyond that, I think is kind of like a toss up.
I would say you're safe to have 3 Pokemon going into the next game before new additions.
And we've already cut Jigglypuff
Yeah, and Pichu. I think you're safe to have
and
3.
Pichu. Yeah,
And like the 3 that I would pick is like Pikachu, Mewtwo, and Charizard. The rest can go.
Yeah.
there's probably a safe
I
bet I think going in.
Yeah, I do think that there's no way Mewtwo makes it if they don't completely change everything about its kit. But I
Yeah,
suppose yeah, they're probably gonna keep at least 3 Pokemon out of like if you've got a list of like 40 characters, at least 3 of those are probably gonna be Pokemon.
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean he could get the cut. He already did in Brawl once, but I think, and in terms of like, again, he's a legendary Pokemon. Is he necessarily a villain? Well, in the Event 51 in Melee, it was Ganondorf, Giga Bowser, and also Mewtwo. So like that's my association of like he's sort of a Pokemon villain, and like Pokemon is big enough to where it should have some sort of villain. This is the closest I think you can really get, at least with our current representation.
yeah. I agree.
Are they gonna put in the teal mask guy instead?
I
Like,
hope I hope to God not.
The turtle.
yeah, that one's
No,
kind of
it's
cute, but
it's an ogre. It's Ogre Pond, and there's no
Uh,
way they're putting Ogre Pond in.
the
yeah,
day I just like the idea of every Smash game that comes out. He's passionate as Grant is about Pokemon. They just make him more and more angry with every edition, like Incineroar on
they'd,
steroids.
they'd probably go for Meowscarada if anything.
Yeah. Meowscarada just won a poll for the most popular Pokemon in Gen 9.
Yeah,
So it is. I was
That's
surprised
upsetting.
by
Yeah.
it, but yeah, I was surprised by it, but that's the way it is, and I can accept that more than Incineroar.
yeah. We could probably vote Roy and Crom out right now. I would guess.
Well, you know what? As a Roy fan, no.
Yeah,
In terms of
I'd vote them out on the
yeah,
spot. Yeah.
I love the Fire Sword though, but he is very
Yeah,
similar to Marth. I do love, honestly, I love how they reinvented him in 4 in terms of from Melee, because Melee he
true.
was a clone.
I
They bring
agree.
him back as a unique character in Smash 4. I played him all the time. He's one of my more played characters, and I
Yeah,
do work my way around the Fire Emblem characters more than most for somebody who like, and I like the games too, but a lot of like. I don't know. There's a large stream of Nintendo fans that just do not play Xenoblade, and they do not play Fire Emblem, and they just deplore Fire Emblem as a concept or whatever. But I like it. But in terms of making the cuts and trying to even this out a bit, I'm okay with that. And honestly, we'll get the Crumb. I meant to move him. We will
yeah,
get to that. Um, but we'll throw our
yeah.
Fire Boy in cut. Actually, there's well, I was about to make a joke about how we don't have enough Gingers, but we actually do have Bowser and Ganon so far. If you want to include those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right.
Game and Watch. I mean, that's Ice Climber territory.
This is the Ice Climber character territory because of the. This was the joke character, I think, of just the absurdity of this character is 2D and he's from an even older property of Nintendo, being the Game and Watch handhelds. I think he's an
Yeah,
amazing concept, though. I think he's just fun. I didn't even
yeah,
know how to conceptualize this character when I didn't know about him. Like in Melee, when I was told that Mr. Game Watch was just a just like a black silhouette character, I always just thought of the father character from Codename Kids Next Door, and that's not who he is. And I was just like,
yeah.
what is this? Like I was so surprised the first time I saw him. So I think in terms of honoring Nintendo's history, more important than Ice Climber.
True.
In terms of Smash, though, and there's some fun gimmicky stuff in Smash, but I wouldn't call him essential either.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I would say safe for now because, like, if you're like, I'm leaning towards safe towards like Pac-Man, right? And if you keep Pac-Man, like, you're not cutting Game and Watch. Like,
Just by the
to think
territory and
to think that Pac-Man is more worthy of being in than Game and Watch is a little weird.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that. I think Pac-Man's like iconic outside of Smash. Pac-Man has so many games, is relevant, still gets entries. Game and Watch is just a legacy Nintendo property because of like the character, not even
Yeah,
necessarily a franchise. It's how
true.
he's in this gray area. I would honestly, Game and Watch is more akin to Rob for me because
Yeah,
Rob
true.
is a
True.
literal thing.
Yeah.
Like Game and Watch is the entity of the thing in such a primitive way of expressing what a video game is, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to, I think, because like all of these like 2D slash hyper retro characters like Ice Climbers, Game and Watch, Pac-Man, Rob are like incredibly beloved.
Sure.
Like all of them, like it's at least competitively, like have always been good, have always been like interesting.
There's been a place for them. There's always a place for these kinds of characters, and inevitably, I hope in the new game we get more like that. 'Cause I think more or less in Ultimate, they didn't really do a lot of this. I mean, you could argue like Piranha Plant, but that's not even really like that interesting. Like in comparison to like who the hell is Mr. Game and Watch, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So they didn't even really do that. If they go back and do some more stuff like that, it'd be awesome. But you
yeah.
never know. So, Grant, what do you think before we move on here?
Yeah, I think you got to keep Game and Watch. He's just such a unique character that like you can't just like forget about something like that. I feel like.
You can't forget. Oh, wait, Jared, what was your vote again? Are you voting safe too?
Yeah, I'd say safe.
Okay. I almost want to reverse veto and cut him because I think he should. I don't know. Maybe I don't though. I don't disrespect him that much. We'll see where the
I
numbers
mean,
get. To me, he's going to be if we put him in safe and we have more safe than cut and we need to make some adjustments. I think he's going to be one of the first that I vote to cut. That's all
I
I'll
would say
say
so
then.
too.
I agree with that 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say so
All
too.
right. That's pretty funny. I mean, like, cause like I don't know if I expected that, but that's what's fun. That's why this is a fun discussion. Is because like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
Let's talk about what the hell that is. So, okay, anyways, now moving on to the goated edition. This is the fun part of the roster. Super Smash Brothers Brawl, one of the best games ever made. I mean, so is Melee, and so is all these games, but
yeah,
Brawl, man, I mean, come on. A Subspace Emissary, the cream of the crop. So,
yeah.
um, it's just good shit. Like, honestly, quick side note, next Smash game, put in a Metroidvania where you just pick up a character and then you go through and have to do certain characters to get through certain areas and have
Yeah,
the Smash moveset just work that way. Just do it. Like just have that be the single player mode and then or make it a roguelite or something. Just reinvent the single player Smash if you're gonna tighten the roster down. It's such a good
yeah.
idea. I don't it's if you
I
can.
need World of Light 2.
Okay.
I'll take World of Light if it's, in the way that I said it. But
Good.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
Meta Knight
no.
can go.
I hinted the sarcasm, I think. Maybe not.
I'm kidding about the World of Light 2 part.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
Nintendo, if you're watching, don't do that.
Yeah.
I liked it and I didn't like it because it was like event match on steroids, but it's not a cohesive thing, you know?
Yeah,
So, that said, Meta Knight, villain slash anti-hero for Kirby, kind of the same shape as Kirby, but vastly different. Also a sword character, but pudgy. He's super unique. I think he's iconic too. And is definitely in terms of Kirby. I think he's an easy safe for me.
Yeah,
I
Brawl.
I don't know. I would go the other way just because DDD is still an option.
Yeah.
And I'm just
True.
not sure. I'm not sure which Nintendo favors more between the two because I don't think all three are going to be safe if we're limiting the roster by at least half. I think two representation from Kirby is probably pretty strong.
I agree.
So between the two, I would personally favor DDD more over Meta Knight. Um, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I totally get that point of view. My thought process in terms of where I am with this is they have not added any Kirby character since Brawl. They only added the two because I think that's just a strong trilogy. And I think Kirby is big enough to still have three. More than like Star Fox. Like I think it's weird
true.
because they both play that. I get where you mean. Like they're the anti-hero slash villains. They team up. They fight. These things. You have like the goofy, like just giant fat penguin man who's just jolly and hilarious, and then you have just sheer badass who will slit your throat Meta Knight. Like, I think there's just such a nice duality with those two. I honestly can't. I think you got to have both for me. I don't think you can cut one over the other. I think they're just equally important. Like you said, what does Nintendo favor? I think they just have both, and they haven't cut them, and they haven't even considered adding anything else from Kirby because they just know that those three are it.
Well, we know that next time they're gonna add Prince Fluff. So
yeah. From Kirby's Epic Yarn, the most iconic. Dude, I would have wanted that so bad in Smash 4, but they never did it, and they never will.
Yeah. My thought is that like Kirby's moveset could sort of like absorb Meta Knights if you made Kirby like a stance character with like a sword form and like a fire form.
Would you that's a neat idea. Would you take that like if down B switches your stance instead of absorbing characters' abilities?
Yeah. No, I mean I would keep the B. Like you could
Suck
still like
something up
absorb.
and spit it out or whatever. Or...
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. If they do that, okay, but I'm gonna consider that they're not doing that.
Right.
For me,
Like,
that's a cruel idea though. No, imagine just like, okay, I'm gonna wear the sword hat and I play like Meta Knight. Okay, I'm gonna put on the fire. I have the dash fire move now, and when I don't have that, I don't do that. That's a cool idea. That's actually upsettingly good, and that's why I record this so I'll remember it.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
I think that's to me preferable to having Meta Knight in if we're cutting because I think DDD is like not going anywhere.
So you think so? You're in agreement with Tristan then, where you say like DDD is a more iconic villain than Meta Knight?
Yeah, and just like varies the shape language of the cast more.
That's
and,
true.
Like,
yeah, the shape language that's a good point. Okay.
The moveset, like.
Okay, Grant, where do you land on Meta Knight?
Meta Knight's got to stay.
Okay, you're in safe as well.
Yeah, Brawl's Meta Knight especially like locked him in.
just for the small untalked about meta of that game and being completely broken.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna vote safe too. We'll reevaluate.
Yeah,
he's probably maybe one of the lesser, but
I'd say he's like a second tier, like possible removal.
Yeah.
So.
What's interesting, like he's first for Brawl. Brawl was announced. They showed off Meta Knight first. He was the first character they showed off.
Yeah.
So,
he was kind of like the face of that game.
He is. He has really cool moments in the subspace. He is what he is. Like, but that's the thing. DD sort of. I mean, DDD does too in a less obvious way, but both super important. Yeah. Okay.
Pick
so yeah. After Uprising, I will hear no cutting of the pit.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Dark Pit later, but the pit.
Oh yeah.
Is
Smash 4.
Yeah. The pit.
Yeah.
The pit is super like this is a retro character they bring back just in the same way as Ice Climber, but then they follow up with it. Sakurai says, this character has potential. I'm going to make a full ass game, and it's one of the best games ever made. So he stays.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Pit's great.
I love playing as him. I think he's a great character. I think Uprising is an amazing game. I wish there was more. I wish they made more games, but we have one.
Yeah.
We have two fun retro. Well, I say fun retro games. We have two retro games, and we have one incredible game in this franchise, and it needs more respect.
Yeah.
And I think like the way that because Sakurai made Uprising as well, he treats Kid Icarus with so much respect. Like if you guys remember the Codex things with Snake and Brawl, they replaced that with Kid Icarus characters in Smash 4. They just got the voice actors back, and there's different conversations with those characters. And so, like, he loves that game, and he made something really good out of it in his team.
Yeah.
So, Grant, you got anything to add, or can I move him yet?
Yeah, I guess he can stay.
Wow. As somebody who has Kid Icarus Uprising in their apartment, even though I know you've never played it, you disappoint me.
I actually currently have it in my 2DS. It is my next game to play.
Oh, heck yeah.
Nice.
Give
Zero Suit.
Zero Suit,
Pardon?
what, you're going to cut her?
Yeah, cut Zero Suit. Too many Metroid characters.
Funny. I'm not going to take that as valid criticism, however. Here's the thing.
I think just not relevant enough anymore.
Well, here's the thing. So there are two Metroid and Samus. I mean, seriously, Samus had her one appearance in like Zero Mission or whatever. In terms of like her being I mean, she is just Samus without the suit. It's hard to describe. It'd be kind of interesting if there was more of a switch between stance type of thing. Keep her that way.
It'd be cool if Samus's armor like came off,
Yeah,
like
how it
after
used
using
to.
certain moves.
Yeah, and I see that. Here's the thing, though. I think she goes into the Pixie realm. Does she
True.
not? Like,
She
she's got that
does.
going. And how
She
many do we
does,
have? One?
but she's not fun.
Do you think? So you think
I
she gets more fun?
disagree. She's really fun. to
I
play.
think she's very fun.
I think it
but,
depends on
like-
the play style. I don't think she's that fun, but I like her.
I think Zero Suit should be synthesized into Samus.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
That would really strengthen the character overall, I believe.
Yeah, I think Samus should like switch from Zoner to Rushdown and like have like certain like empowered projectiles that like shed parts of her armor, and then eventually it all falls off.
Can you put it back on from that point, or no?
No, you're stuck for the
Oh,
rest of the
dang,
match.
that's tough. Here's the thing. That's a really cool concept and a good idea, and I'll take it if it happens. But like Samus
Yeah.
doesn't need that. I just like Samus how she is, at the same time. But
I think Samus is kind of boring. I think that would make Samus a lot more.
I think Samus is almost like Captain Falcon in terms of feel, like so good. I think she
Oh,
feels great.
interesting.
Yeah, I love just Samus in Ultimate especially is one of my most played characters, definitely a top 10. That said, I love your idea because it's unique, and I will take it. So I will. Where do we? So let's save the idea. Obviously, we got to move more to cuts. I think we cut her the way that she is, right? Or
Yeah.
Grant? What do you think? You're towards
Uh,
cut, right? You don't even like playing as her.
Yeah, I'm towards cut. Jared's idea is interesting. I think that I would be okay with that style of character if they reworked more of the original roster to be unique like that. Like I wouldn't ever consider Zero Suit as an independent character. Like if we're viewing her as an independent character,
In this case, we are, yeah. Because that's what she is. She
yeah.
has her own slot. She doesn't transform.
Yeah, I would say absolutely not. Then
Okay. And then
Yeah,
so,
I love Zero Suit too. Like
yeah.
I absolutely like I love the design, I love the play style and everything, but I think it could be more interesting. I think Samus could be more interesting. Focus more on like zoning and have like a parry, like the parry in Metroid.
Oh, they gotta incorporate the parry for her in like.
But if you like,
or something,
yeah.
like an more interesting counter though. Like it is a counter, but
Right.
not more characters need counters. I think she'd be one of the more interesting ones to have one though. To be fair.
Yeah, I think it
So-
should be like a counter that has like a canned follow up attack. Like you
But
like
it doesn't.
fire,
You don't get a free hit.
right, but it has like canned damage afterwards, where you like fire 3 shots at them in the air or
Yeah.
something.
Ooh, good idea.
But then
Or
like
get
if you
sword or
miss the counter, you lose armor, and like
You're getting into the meta of your
I think
design philosophy. I think it's a good idea though. I think that's cool. Okay, we'll go with that for now. Tristan, you can also like say either way. We have been doing the 3 votes just so there's no tiebreakers, but you can also like say your stead as well.
Yeah, I'm not super opinionated about a bunch of stuff, but when I am, I'll let you know for sure.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
You do that. We appreciate you here.
the one thing that I'd like to say that isn't terribly relevant, but just because I know I'll forget to say it later about like Jared's idea, what I was about to start talking about, but I decided to not talk about it. I'm actually going to briefly address the idea of having like characters like that as a general rule of thumb. I am very largely opposed to having characters that switch between characters. This will be evident with like Pyramithra and like Zelda Sheik. I just despise any character that switches between multiple. But I will say if they decided to take the game in general in a whole different direction, like they decided to rework everybody from Mario upwards, and it felt a little bit more natural that some characters could switch between 2 things, then that I would be very fine with. But
yeah,
as a
I think like
general
the
rule,
Samus thing could have like a cool drawbacks to like, like she's like very heavy and a good zoner, and then if you like spend the armor, you're like incredibly light, but you have like good frames and rush down potential.
right? Yeah.
If they don't do that with Samus, they should do that with a different character. It's a good idea.
Yeah, like like the ideas of having like Ganondorf like kind of implement that Byleth, like different ranges and different weapons for each attack, and
For sure.
like or even like incorporating some of that like kind of hero interfacing to like Mewtwo or something, but like have it be
yes, yeah.
Like with
your
different
move.
moves, you mean? Or yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and he'll have like PP, so like he can only use like Psychic 10 times or something.
Yeah, you're gonna alienate 20 million of the 35 million sales doing that, but sure.
Yeah.
Just saying
But yeah, I
that.
think there's so much room to make characters more interesting and like have more kind of dynamic game plan.
Yeah, I mean, you see that in Rivals. Rivals has really interesting different mechanics for a platform fighter
Yeah,
with like, the Orca
yeah,
character putting down a puddle and then being able to just teleport there. Like, the most
right.
interesting thing they really have with like that is like Steve being able to warp his block around or like Inkling being able to refill the ink or something.
Inkling.
That's like all these added mechanics, like they just need to take that up another level because they've teetered the edge with the DLC and now it's like, well, where do you go from here?
Yeah, I mean, unsurprisingly, you'll find that I definitely want Inkling to stay.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I have a lot to say on that too. So, but for now we're on good old Wario, Garlic Absorber man. Also kind of fits the Mario villain, but he's also technically his own franchise because WarioWare is its own thing. Wario Land
yeah.
also exists. I think he's funny. I think he a pretty good addition from Brawl too. I don't know. He just like he fits for me.
I I think 6 Mario reps is enough personally.
Well, here's the thing. He's not a Mario rep. His icon is not a mushroom. His icon is a W for Wario. He's his own
True.
entity. Because what and Donkey Kong and Yoshi don't count. So we're at Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Bowser. That's it, right? Like those are the four, and those are the
If we get
mainstay
if we get
fours.
Waluigi, I'll vote safe.
Waluigi, dude, like I want that so bad, but like, how do they even do that? Like, he's Wario and Waluigi, but Waluigi's Mario and Wario's Wario. Like, Waluigi's never been in a WarioWare game, and as much of a crime as that is, like, I don't know.
It's yeah, it's tough because in all honesty, Wario is his own individual, Waluigi is not.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's kind of I think part of the reason they don't even put him in, even though he'd be amazing with like the sports and the party block stuff. Like he should just be the Mario spin-off character. It'd be incredible. It'd be so
Yeah,
easy, but they don't do it.
yeah.
yeah.
Like they put Daisy in for no
Yeah,
reason. Daisy doesn't
Echo
matter.
Fighter.
So,
Who's Waluigi and Echo Fighter? If he can't do, he's got to be unique. He's fan
yeah,
demanded. I think if they with a new addition, if there's a new Mario character, I think he's next up. I don't know who else you do.
yeah.
So
I could say safe on
Toad, I
Wario.
guess, but I'm leaning towards safe as well. What do you think, Grant?
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Yeah,
I think Wario's safe.
cool. Yeah, good, good. We keep our yellow guy. All right. Here's an interesting one to say the very least. Cut for 2 games. Ultimate. Oh, dang it, Konami, we got to get him back because we brought him back that one time on accident. Um, why the hell did they put him in the game in the first place? I don't know. Because Kojima really asked nicely. Like, but
Yeah,
by all accounts, Snake shouldn't really even be in this game. Like,
No,
yeah.
he
I love
doesn't
him though.
he doesn't fit. He's not really a Nintendo character. He has this Snake,
Yeah,
this iteration of Snake is on the GameCube in the Twin Snakes and nothing else. Because Metal
yeah.
Gear Solid 3 was on the 3DS, not the same Snake.
He sticks out the most out of any Smash character, and he's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. I'm a fan of the franchise, probably because he was put into this game. Um,
Yeah,
like, and he plays so uniquely, and he's so like odd that
yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. Um,
yeah.
so I think, and in terms of getting like third-party representation, it's hard to say because like when you talk about Konami, so Konami owns Metal Gear Solid, they own that IP. The other representation they own in Smash Brothers is they also own Castlevania. And
Yeah.
Castlevania, I think, is more in line with Nintendo and has a longer legacy than Metal Gear.
Yep.
But it's hard to say. I think Metal Gear is almost more relevant today, right now.
Yeah.
Castlevania doesn't have a remake coming out. It's hard to say. These are honestly two. Like, do you keep both of them? I don't know that we have room to keep both Konami properties. And I don't know which one I would prefer because they're both super good additions for the game. I think they're awesome, but
Yeah. I think Snake is like way less of a safe choice and is like far more interesting for it. Like
Oh yeah,
I think he like you look at like how safe our keep list is right now, and like
yeah, it is.
I think you got to have like that weirdness because that's like what makes Smash kind of fun and interesting,
The
but
only
not
other
like
comment that I have about Snake is the fact, and I know this sounds stupid, but he is going to be in Fortnite, which
true.
seems off topic and really stupid, but it can lead to a lot of very interesting thought processes. So I felt like it should be mentioned.
Yeah,
I do hope he stays. Quite frankly, I think it's a fantastic, like a third party. I think the fact that it's a character from an M-rated game also is
Yeah, that's
very
also
interesting.
insane. Yeah,
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 it's really great. I hope they keep him. But the ties with everything that's going on, I can't say for sure. But I'm happy to vote for safe, personally.
yeah. What you with your comment on Fortnite? Yeah, like Metal Gear is trying to be more relevant again. Like we're not going to get Castlevania in Fortnite. Probably not.
yeah,
Maybe eventually if they do another reboot, like that, I wouldn't be beyond Konami doing that. But yeah, Snake is like Metal Gear. They're trying to make a comeback. Like it's a thing. It's a big legacy IP. Metal Gear, I would say, in the cinematic hardcore gaming space is, and not as much the retro, more niche space. I would say Metal Gear is bigger than Castlevania, but so different. It's like comparing apples and oranges, even though they're like in the same basket, you know.
yeah.
It's really it's hard to say. I think all the points you said though, like it's lightning in a bottle, you know.
It's
With
I mean, it's also just it's one of the greatest franchises of all time.
and
Like
it's super iconic. It made cinematic video games.
yeah,
Like it was one of the first ones, and is still beloved and is a good franchise for sure. Yeah, I don't want I like I think he could easily be cut. Like he was cut twice.
true.
Okay,
I
like he
think
was not brought back, but the fact that he was back here, like you guys remember when they did the first trailer when they
What do
revealed
you
that it
mean?
was Ultimate?
What do you mean he was cut twice though? You said that twice now.
He's cut in I don't know, just four, right? Two
Oh
Smash
yeah.
4 games. My bad. No, well, it just felt like the line. The two, he was cut in the 3DS version and the Wii U version. Maybe you didn't know that. Um,
Yeah,
um,
sure.
but the fact that he was like cut, it's like other like that was somebody that nobody thought they'd ever bring back. But the way that in this going back to what I was getting to before was when they revealed Smash Ultimate to be Smash Ultimate. When they did the "Everybody Is Here" moniker, and that became such a meme and an iconic moment. It's when Snake showed up.
yeah,
So Snake shows up, he stands up, it says everybody is here, and then they start throwing in Young Link, Pichu, and all these other like unheard of characters that nobody expected to ever
yeah,
come back. Wolf was super hype at that point. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I think in terms of what we want from the game, like I think he's so easy to cut, but if you did, you'd alienate, not alienate, that's not the right word, but like you dishearten so many people.
I think you just lose too much charm by cutting Snake.
He had the Codex conversations. He brings amazing soundtrack like music to the game too. Like
Yeah,
he is a deserved spot. It's so odd too because again he's not even a Nintendo character.
yeah,
He's just not. He's more of a honestly like if PlayStation had a fighting game at the same time or before um, Nintendo did and brought Snake in, he would have been on the Sony side. That's why they had Raiden in PlayStation All Stars because like, they couldn't get Snake.
yeah,
Like he was already in their game. So like you know it's really interesting, but really interesting.
yeah,
Like just because of the interest of the character too. Like I'll throw him in safe, but
yeah. I think you need a handful of those more grown up characters
yeah,
too.
yeah, that's true. He adds a lot. Like cause yeah, you're right. Like this is a safe selection, but then there's Snake. It's like oh okay, it could have gone either
Yeah,
way. Yeah, he's really fun to talk about. Um, Ike, I think
that's tough.
I think you get another Fire Emblem rep, and it's him. I think you get two, maybe three of. I think Fire Emblem you limit to three,
Yeah,
like Kirby and all that, right? So
We
like
can,
it's
we
not
can hope
it's
they
not
limit
two.
it to three.
yeah, we can hope. I mean, here's the thing though. Honestly, Fire Emblem you could even make the argument for four. Okay, here's why. Not because I think it's a great series. It is well, it's a popular franchise for Nintendo. It is a moneymaker. Their mobile app, Fire Emblem Heroes, don't show it to Grant because Grant likes mobile games. He can maybe even get into this game because it makes an insane amount of money per year. Like not as much as Pokemon Go, but it's Nintendo's highest profiting mobile app because Pokemon Go is not entirely Nintendo. Fun stuff there, but Fire Emblem Heroes makes an insane amount of money. it has such an amazing, like a huge fan base now after Awakening launched and being carried with Smash and everything. Why, like the reason we have Lucina, Robin, and Chrom all from the same game is because Awakening. It really did rejuvenate the franchise and make it what it is now. And now we have three houses and Engage, and we get a Fire Emblem game every 2-3 years now. It's more regular than Star Fox or
How was
Icarus, these
Engage?
other franchises.
Was
Sorry, go ahead.
Engage good?
I haven't played it yet. I hear the gameplay's good, story's not, but I hear it's
Oh.
peak Fire Emblem gameplay,
Heard.
which I like. I'm actually playing Path of Radiance right now, which is the game that Ike is from, and
Yeah.
not that he's like got a huge leg. I mean, he's in two different older games.
Yeah.
He is the kind of slower, heavier representation though, and I think he has a good weight to him. I like how he plays. I think
Yeah.
if Roy is cut, especially, and I think we'll probably make the other cuts. I think Ike is like number 2 to Marth.
Yeah, I think he's a little boring. Like, I don't know. Like, Marth is boring, but like is like, fits as like purely like sword based. Like,
Yeah, I mean, but and that's what Ike is, but big,
yeah, he's just like slower.
Yeah,
It's like I don't even know how you'd really make Ike more interesting.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, but
don't know.
I think he could easily be cut or replaced.
Yeah.
I just think for the sake of what we have and what we know, I think he's safe for me.
Yeah, I would say he's in the same place as like Meta Knight for possibly being cut or Game and Watch.
That's a good like area, yeah. Like
Yeah.
the not guaranteed, but the ones we're keeping. But like Snake is in his own bubble off to the side in the same area.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Anybody else on Ike?
Real quick. I know I said I wouldn't talk about this game, but Tristan, can we just appreciate the fact that the people that eliminated us 3 times we just beat?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Not gonna lie.
All right,
Sorry,
that means Ike's going in safe. Grant's
Oh,
opinion's
100%.
invalidated for that.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Charizard is staying. That's it.
Yeah, here's the
Yeah.
interesting thing is, dude. Well, here's the thing: is this 1 or 3 different characters?
Charizard's staying, the rest is not.
These 2 were cut before, yeah. Do they cut him again?
Yes.
I don't think they would cut him again. I think Pokemon Trainer could be more interesting and have you go into the battle with all 3 just starters, and they evolve.
That's doing a
Evolution,
certain amount of
mid-game,
damage or whatever.
fast.
That's a good idea. I think
Yeah.
or even just do it with Charmander. I don't know.
Yeah, but then I think it should just be one character, but I think they would have to make it much more interesting because like
yeah,
it just feels awkward to have a first stage, a second stage, and a third stage.
well,
If
I mean,
it's
yes and
weird
no,
little favorite
but
system.
it also just shows
I-
like what the evolution is. Like it makes conceptual sense. I get where you're coming from, and I think it could be better.
Yeah,
I can only see them doing Pokemon Trainer if they do it for the most recent generation of the time.
Like if they redo it and then, but here's the thing. Let's say they do that. They do it with Gen 9 or 10 starters or whatever those end up being. Do they keep Charizard?
Yes.
Like Charizard was his own character. He's a certified heavy. A heavy Pokemon character is very strong representation. I think that's good. And I definitely
need
I think you keep him in favor of the other ones. They already did that in Smash 4 once, and it makes sense. It just depends on what the concept looks like of what Pokemon
Yeah.
Trainer is, because I don't know. It would be interesting if they did that evolution or Pokemon Trainer concept with the next generation, but what if another Pokemon is more iconic and they want to add that instead? Like, I don't know. This is one of the more interesting ideas is what this will even look like.
right.
I think for now, we don't know what. And there's only one character like this. We have no idea what this is going to be. Honestly, I think the idea, if they're going to streamline the game and make less characters or whatever too, I think they do cut the Pokemon Trainer concept. And if they are going to leave another Pokemon, sure, just leave it at Charizard. Because if we have Mewtwo, Charizard, and Pikachu, like those are the Gen 1 Pokemon everybody knows. They throw in a new one. I think that's all you need. Because I do agree, like Charizard is a pretty important inclusion, but at the same time, like, why divorce him from the trainer? I mean, that's the only way you can do it.
Yeah,
All right, so I think if we're in agreement with that, we'll just cut these three. So annoying that he gets his own portrait. I mean, he does because it's him, but like then these three are different. Like it's such a stupid
Yeah.
concept, and now we're keeping one of them. Like, I mean, it's a cool concept, but it's also like, yeah, annoying. All
Yeah.
right, we all in agreement with that? We like that?
Yeah, I'm with it.
Okay,
Diddy can go.
really.
Yeah, I think so.
I would keep Diddy Kong over like all of Smash 4. I think. I think he's like I think he's a de facto player too. I think he's like popular enough in the game itself to be playable.
I'll be back in a little bit, gentlemen.
I,
Okay. True, I guess.
Sounds
I mean,
good.
he's
yeah, since we're probably getting rid of Lucas, like,
well, I have more to say on him. Well, I'm gonna be 50-50 on him, but like Diddy Kong, here's another interesting thing. Him and Banjo and K. Rool are the only Western designed characters.
yeah,
Everything else is Japanese. Or well, no, Steve is not Japanese either, but there's a small selection, right?
True.
Um,
yeah. I think
I think he could play into the Pixie area too. I think he's not a huge hitter.
yeah. I need to mention that I do have to go to a movie pretty soon.
What you see in Wonka?
Godzilla -1.
Oh, it's supposed to be
Ooh,
good.
even better actually. Godzilla -1 is probably my movie of the year.
Yeah, I've heard very good things.
Yeah, that's all I've heard is good things. What time do you need to head out?
Probably like 9:15.
Okay, I think we could. I think we could go a little faster.
Yeah, we probably rapid fire it. So like,
Yeah,
we'll just do votes for now.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I vote safe on Diddy then.
I vote
Safe.
safe. All right.
Okay. I wanted to talk more about Lucas. I'll vote safe for Lucas. I think he's going to be cut though.
I'll vote cut.
Cut.
Damn. I mean, yeah. There's a lot I can get into with him. Okay. Sonic.
Safe.
Yeah.
Safe, I guess.
Yeah.
Too important.
I think DDD safe.
Yeah, DDD is safe.
Olimar safe.
Yeah, unfortunately safe.
Olimar is very safe now.
Pikmin is amazing. Lucario cut.
Cut.
Rob cut.
Cut.
Keep.
You're outnumbered. I knew you'd say that though.
Link. Did you veto?
Yeah.
If Jared's seeing a movie and didn't tell us ahead of time, there's no more veto system. He's ruined it.
Toon Link cut.
Where? Let's see.
I gotta say keep, surprisingly.
22.
Interesting.
We're
Something.
we got like 12 or 13 more for safe.
Yeah.
We're nearing that edge case. He's on the line for me because I would keep him if I could, but I think I want to put him in cut until I want to move the numbers.
Yeah.
He's at like the bottom of cut for me, like or bottom
Yeah.
of safe and top of cut. I don't know. Let's put him in cut for now. Wolf. I think if we're keeping Fox, we have room to keep Wolf. I think Wolf can
Yeah,
stay.
I agree.
He was cut once and it was undeserved. Keep
Yeah.
him in the game.
I think he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Villager safe as hell. I mean,
Yeah.
Animal Crossing is not getting taken out.
Yeah.
Certainly not. I think maybe even they keep Isabelle too, but we'll get there. Mega Man. See, now
What?
they were getting the interesting ones. I think Mega Man, here's the thing. Legacy IP, very
Yeah.
iconic. Capcom,
No.
I think they keep.
Mega Man keep, but completely gut and change everything.
Yep.
All right.
Completely rechange every single last thing about that character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep nothing the same.
Yeah. We fit cut.
Yeah, Wii Fit's the joke character. Wii Fit doesn't even exist anymore, so I'm
Keep.
going cut as well. Yeah, see, no surprise.
Veto.
Rosalina, we're at the point of. Huh?
Rosalina and Luma.
Uh,
I'd say cut.
cut.
Was that 2 cuts?
Yeah.
Cut.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty
not
iconic, but cut.
iconic, but non-essential Mario character.
Yeah. Little Mac,
Um,
super interesting. If you fix him, I say keep.
Keep.
I agree. Punch Out is actually a bit of a more legacy retro franchise. Super interesting history and existence and what it is.
Yeah,
He was born for this game, and it's a shame he took so long.
yeah. I
uh,
think we got
they should change him though.
5 cuts in a row here, I think.
Let's see. Greninja, unfortunately, I think while he does fit the Pixie side of things, and I do like playing as him, he's probably my favorite of Smash 4's new characters, to be honest. I like him a lot. He's a good
Yeah,
Pokemon, great design, not necessarily relevant anymore, and they got to make room for more new Pokemon. So yeah, I think he gets cut.
yeah.
Yeah,
Super cool
but
one-time thing though. This is what happened like Greninja. Imagine if Decidueye is right next to him. This should have been the one-time thing, but no.
Yeah.
They should have both had their shine, but.
Mies are cut.
Yeah, Mies, they got to
Me's
tighten the roster down. They can't keep this bullshit in there.
Me's stay, but only brawler.
They
Yeah.
There's
just keep one of them. Well, we'll see
well,
about the
there's no
numbers. Oh wait, whoops, that's the
there's
wrong
no
spot.
reason to have a sword fighter or a gunner because there are no Me games that have guns or swords.
True.
You are factually wrong. Have you played Swordplay in Wii Sports Resort?
Oh, true.
Well, yeah, but
Justifies
like
Wii Sword Fighter right there.
does
Palutena
it?
can stay.
I also vote Palutena stays. I can cut Dark Pit for a skin alt, but I want to keep Palutena. I
Man,
wish she
I
was
wish
more
we had
interesting
more.
though. I don't like playing as her, but I really wanted her originally, and I think in terms of what Kitagris is to Sakurai, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I
Dark
do
Pit
I
can
do
go.
wish we had more time to discuss that Me idea though, because I am being genuine. I just don't think there's a need to have three separate Me's, but I think that Me's should be kept in some capacity. Just don't let you change the.
Yeah.
No, I could see that. If we have room, we can make an exception for the brawler,
Yeah.
but I would put in Toon Link. We'll see. Yeah. So and then Dark Pit, I think we can
Yep.
agree as a skin alt. Pac-Man, I think you keep. He's iconic.
Yeah.
It's like I'm surprised he got in. I didn't even want him, but there he
Yeah.
is.
Lucina can go.
I think Lucina goes. Here's the thing. Awakening is good. It owes a lot of its success, oh shoot, this screen's gonna be weird. It owns
Yeah.
a lot of Fire Emblem's success owes it to Awakening. It's
Yeah.
overrepresented.
Yeah. Robin can go.
And I think it was 10 years ago. I think
Yeah.
Robin is also a good cut.
Yeah. Shulk
Um,
I think honestly can go. I'm voting cut.
I they gotta have one Xenoblade rep if they don't just add somebody new and replace everybody, like with one rep. I think the
Yeah.
Xenoblade is new and big enough. I mean, every Xenoblade game is available on Switch. I think it is a big franchise. I
True.
think you keep him. He does appear in Xenoblade 3 in some
Yeah.
capacity, so he
I'll
is
say safe
relevant.
for the sake of
Yeah,
brevity.
yeah, I think you keep him. I think Bowser Jr. you cut. Too much
Yeah.
Mario.
Cut.
This is just the effect of too much Mario. Not
Yeah.
bad necessarily, but Duck Hunt Dog, again, another retro character, more iconic than Ice Climbers for sure.
Yeah.
But I think non-essential. I think he fits into like Game and Watch territory. But
Yeah. I'd say cut.
I mean, Duck Hunt, Game and Watch, and Rob were bundled together because they knew they wouldn't sell on their own. You know.
Yeah. I
Um,
think Ryu can stay.
yeah, I'm with only if they make sure that in the next game his eyebrow doesn't go above his bandana. I hate
Right.
this.
Like if you have to have one like 2D fighter rep, and it should
Oh
be him.
yeah, Street Fighter. Yeah, I agree, Ryu. I would almost like to keep Ken as well, but I don't think there's room at this point
No, I think he's out.
because he's a good like again player too, but don't need him. Every Echo Fighter I think has been cut at this point. So
Yeah.
oh wait, we haven't gotten to Daisy yet. No, yeah, because that's Ultimate. Okay.
Personally, I
Um,
think Cloud can stay.
yeah, Cloud is iconic. Got everything a little too excited when it was announced. Yeah, I think he can stay too. I think he's good. Corrin is cut as hell. Corrin is more
Yeah.
cut than any Fire
Okay.
Emblem Awakening character.
More cut than any character, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the go-to cut is like, who are they going to remove? Yeah, Corrin. Why did they put
Yeah.
Corrin in the game?
Bayonetta, that's a tough one.
Bayonetta is almost a Nintendo franchise. Nintendo publishes the games, but it's still kind of owned by Sega, but it's
Hmm.
in a weird gray area. I think for the fact that it was quote unquote the ballot winner of Smash 4, even though it really wasn't, I think she stays. I think she's a big enough name. We still got Bayonetta 3 like last year or 2 years ago or whatever that was. Like she's pretty
Yeah,
relevant. I mean, there was a new Bayonetta spin-off game last year. It's blooming into a bigger franchise. I think you keep her.
Also, we're almost exclusively cutting from here, so I do think she's on the side of keep.
yeah, I'd say safe.
Okay. Inkling
Inkling is
is the most safe character in Ultimate.
yeah, like by far, not even close.
Splatoon is
So safe.
almost a pillar, and was the first character added when they got the chance. So
Yeah, Daisy's out.
Daisy could be a skin alt, no room.
Ridley stays for sure.
I want Ridley to stay. Yeah, it took him long enough in Metroidville, and we cut Zero Suit, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, we can keep two Metroids. This is all you need. Um, Simon and Richter. We kept Snake, unfortunately for that reason, and I think we're getting near the. I
cut.
think
Yeah,
here we're gonna have 44, and 44 is about half.
yeah.
Ish.
I think they're.
So
I think. Oh,
I think we cut Belmonts for now. They could easily keep them though.
yeah,
Yeah, Dark Samus was cut.
yeah,
Skin alt. Crom, again, the Fire Emblem Awakening argument of just not necessarily super relevant anymore.
yeah. K. Rool is.
K. Rool is such a fan requested character and a villain
Yeah,
and just great.
yeah,
Base game, Ultimate, my favorite edition. I mean, Ridley's up there too, but yeah,
yeah.
that's the thing though.
I think we
I think
cut
it is.
everything else
Yeah.
You think they
except for
cut
Banjo.
all except for Banjo's 50-50. I think yeah, Piranha Plant, Incineroar. Well, let's start with Isabelle. Okay, they have Villager. Do we need Villager and Isabelle? No. I guess I would cut Isabelle over. I think Villager is more versatile.
Be a skin.
Yeah, but I think she's. I mean, Animal Crossing is a beast, and I think could easily still have two reps.
Hmm.
So Incineroar they cut for new Pokemon. Piranha Plant, there's no time for that bullshit.
True.
Yeah, DLC really interesting sprawl here.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: who said they're gonna cut Min Min? I think they keep Min Min. That's a
Uh,
Nintendo
cut,
character. They don't have to pay money to keep Min Min.
True.
cut Min.
They're
I do love Min Min's design. If they re-kit her, she's totally safe in my opinion.
I think there's no salvaging her.
I think
We'll
it'll be
see.
salvage.
I would want Joker, but Sega bigger than almost not bigger than Nintendo, but doesn't need Nintendo anymore.
Yeah.
Like on all platforms. Dragon Quest, you can make an argument for keeping.
Yeah.
I think you
Hero
keep
does
the,
feel.
I think you keep the slime, but that's about it.
Yeah, the slime's pretty good. Yeah, as a Rocket Slime fan.
I would love to see Hero like redone and put back in.
Yeah, let's. I, th- I think I'm okay with. I think I'm leaning. Well, do we want to vote on this one? I'm voting safe on Hero. I think.
I'm voting safe.
Okay.
Safe.
Which is interesting because yeah, that ad just makes more sense, but it's not necessarily Nintendo. Now, Banjo, I think could be cut, but got to be the most requested character, at least in this
Safe.
territory. I
So
don't
safe.
like. I want to say safe, but if Banjo's cut makes sense, you know, like they don't have to bring. It back.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like such an amazing one-time thing,
I think people would be pretty upset.
and they could re-kit him too. I wouldn't mind him playing differently. I mean, I like how he plays enough, but I think it'd be better differently at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and then obviously this is America first. We're better than South America. We don't care about Fatal Fury. Goodbye.
Cut. Byleth is cut.
Byleth they could cut for the next big Fire Emblem, but Three Houses is big.
I love Three Houses.
Yeah, I think honestly, how many Fire Emblems do we have? Didn't we only have Martha Nike?
Yeah.
I think if they keep
think-
one of that's already existing, and if they don't replace it with a new one, I think they keep Byleth.
Yeah.
But makes sense to replace.
Min Min can stay.
Yeah, Min Min stays, and then
Steve is
I mean,
gone.
Steve, they're just not even going to bother. I mean, Minecraft's big. It did what they needed it to do. I don't think he needs to stay. He broke Ultimate also.
Yeah,
People don't
he's the
like
Bayonetta.
people who still play the game don't like Minecraft, Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Sephiroth is out.
yeah, Sephiroth. Here's like the villain aspect of I wanted to keep a lot of these villains in for the variety, and it makes sense because Cloud has a villain, but it's not Nintendo, it's Square.
Yeah, replace him with
So
Eggman.
yeah, or put Eggman in there, no room. Yeah, I think you get rid of these two in
Yeah,
favor of new Xenoblade
keep
rep.
keep Pyra. Get rid of Mithra.
Well, let's see. Do we have room for that? Because
No, I'm kidding.
oh, okay. And then Tekken,
How
I think you
weird.
already have Street Fighter. Tekken is pretty big to be in there, big 3D fighter, but
It's yeah. Tekken's
actually,
cringe.
here's the thing: if we cut both of these guys, I think we're even.
Yeah.
This is the
I think
exact
I think
middle,
Sora.
but there's Pokemon Trainer in the cut, so
Yeah. I think Sora should stay.
Sora
I
should
think
stay. It makes a lot of sense, but at the
he's
same
so he's so smash coded. You know.
yeah, and he belongs. You just never know how's the licensing with Disney supposed to work in another 5 years.
True.
You
It's like
never
I
know.
just
Like
really
I just
wish
think, like my thing is like, yeah, keep him if you can, but like I don't think they can get him back. I don't know why. I just feel like it can't happen.
in an
Um,
ideal world, I'd trade him for Bayonetta.
oh sure, but that I don't think that will happen. I think I will let you. You can trade Sora for Game and Watch.
True. Yeah.
If we do that, I think we might be good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. I'll make that. I'll make you that trade offer. He goes here. That that's what we got. Any other things we should review? You got another 5 minutes, right? So
Yeah.
anything? This will look good. This is our cut, and then oh, I didn't get to. Let me talk about Lucas for a minute because obviously, like, I don't think you need Ness and Lucas. I would almost rather keep Lucas over Ness, even though I made such a strong argument for Ness in the beginning. I just like how
Yeah.
Lucas plays more, and Mother
True.
3 needs to keep the recognition so it gets a Western release, even though it never will because of music
Yeah. True.
trademarking stuff and its themes. But man, is Mother 3 a special game and deserves. I'm
Yeah.
amazed he's even in the game. He's the most
Yeah.
interesting to me. I would almost rather have him than Snake because he's just not he's has no real exposure to the United States outside of this game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, to Nintendo America, he might as well not even exist. That I
I'd
find
rather.
super fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have him than Bayonetta. But
But they won't. They can't do that. I would trade. Let's
yeah.
see. Who do I want to? I would trade Lucas for Hero personally, but
Yeah.
and that's a
I
money
mean,
thing.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's weird because it's like he's sort of an echo, but
He is, but they do play very like I'll confuse which one I am, and it will affect how I play. Like they're different enough to where I like them.
yeah.
Um,
I would trade him for Olimar in a heartbeat.
from a playability standpoint, yes, but from a representation, absolutely not. Pikmin needs it. Pikmin is so
Yeah.
fucking good. I love Pikmin.
Yeah.
They gotta keep
I
Pikmin.
like this weird bias and hatred towards Pikmin. Like I just don't care about it.
Play Pikmin 4 and tell me if that's still true because Pikmin 4 is incredible
Yeah.
and a great starting point. Honestly, it's a great game.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, Daniel and I both really loved it. Honestly, I thought Pikmin 4 was more of a consistent, great experience over even Tears of the Kingdom last year.
Yeah.
I still think I
Tears of
liked
the
Zelda more as a game for what ambitious it was, but Pikmin 4 is like number two.
Yeah. Zelda really is shitting the bed lately.
Zelda as a franchise?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, as a girl,
Wow, you wish. Just kidding,
Yeah.
maybe.
one
But
one can only hope.
I just hope they stop doing that.
they're going to go open world. They just need to reform their dungeon design and their the way that things are done a bit. It's too
Yeah.
open. They got to bring it. They got to dial it back a bit. I
And
have
their brain.
actually, funnily enough, we recorded a video of we did like a Tears of the Kingdom panel review. Jared, I'll forward you the link so you can listen to it. We had an idea of how to just reform the game to be perfect. It was like me and Jesse and Daniel, I think, maybe Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever will because the money is in Minecraft, Fortnite.
The money's there and it still appeals and it's still easy enough. Because the idea was essentially combine Elden Ring into Zelda, like that kind
Yeah.
of idea, like world design and even some of the mechanics. But that's neither here nor there for now.
They are going the child route for sure.
Yeah, and they have to.
They're going Zelda for 6-year-olds. Roblox coded.
That's what they did with the building. I mean,
Yeah.
sprouting creativity, which I hate. I hate being creative. I just want things to be logical.
Yeah. I want like a piece of like art rather than like a
Yeah,
toy box.
yeah. Art. I would agree. Art's more important than play, maybe. Well, not all the time, but play if it's
No,
artful. I get it.
yeah, like the gameplay can be great, but
The
like
game. Yeah.
I don't want Roblox in my Zelda. I'm over it.
I would say I'm over it too. We'll see where they get. It was such a weird system. I honestly have no idea what the next Zelda game looks like if they keep that at all.
Yeah.
It'll Next Zelda might even be more interesting than the next Smash. I think those for me because those are my two favorite things, and we have no idea what they are going to look like in 10 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Smash is even more of a wild card. It's like, what the hell do you do?
yeah,
You just make
you could
like
say that about Tears of the Kingdom. What are you
Smash
going to do with an open
better,
world game? But yeah,
Smash more ultimate.
yeah, more ultimate by just porting this game and adding more. But
Smash, but where final smashes are actually fun.
yeah, I would like it to be as imbalanced as 4, where you can either get a tank or beat on the bongos.
It should just have super moves.
Yeah,
It should just have a meter.
they did bring the Smash meter in. That was a mechanic, remember?
Well, yeah, but like a functional meter that's not like Nintendo baby coded, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Nintendo's for babies, so we can end it on that. Unless anybody wants to move anything else, do we want? Did I still want to do a trade for Lucas? I think everybody else is a little. I mean, I would do it for Mega Man. I would do it for Cloud. I would do it for
Mario.
Hero. Mario. No, I wouldn't do it for Mario. I would do it. I'd probably do it for Pac-Man if it were up to me, but no. I think this is okay. I think all the characters we have to keep are keepers.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I think like Jigglypuff is so beloved, you know? And like there's people who would like feel the same way that you do about Lucas, but like
Maybe, yeah.
just generally not as important, I think.
Not as important as Lucas or Pikachu, yeah. No. I don't think here's the thing, I don't think we can do any trades. I think this is evenly split. I mean it's a little bit different because the Pokemon Trainer obscures things, so we have more safe than not. But
Yeah.
I don't know where the sacrifices come in at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we kept Banjo-Kazooie.
I mean,
that's
even
good
if you
enough.
deleted Pokemon Trainer, there's no way to make it even. So
No, not at that point. I'm just looking at it as pure aesthetic from this point
Yeah.
of the screen. I'm like, would I swap Lucas for anybody? Or Toon Link even. I don't know. I mean, all the ones in
Yeah.
safe are like, yeah, that I agree with all of those. Oh,
Yeah.
I'd get rid of Ryu, but he stays. Makes sense. There's
Yeah.
characters personally I would swap out in and out, but
Yeah. All right, I gotta go.
okay, we'll call it here.
All right,
Yeah.
dude.
Great.
Yeah, enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
It's
Enjoy the
it's a
movie,
great-
and also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.